Hey everyone, and welcome back to Spill the Tea with Damen B and with Graham.
Hi,
Woo
everyone. Hi. I'm
woo.
not feeling
And
so great today.
yeah, she's hungover
Yeah,
on the
we got a little bit crazy. I was telling David we cleaned out our attic yesterday, and it was such a big job that we had to celebrate when it was done. As you get older,
right.
you
I
find things to celebrate.
I moved my furniture around
Yeah.
yesterday and
So you had to have a party, right?
well,
That's
I had a piece of chocolate. So,
okay. So same thing. Yeah. So what are we talking about today?
so we're gonna talk about work-life balance.
Ooh, love it. Love it. The balance.
So, Grandma, do you have a work-life balance?
No, of course not. I'm from a generation where we just worked. Well, there's no such thing as balance. What are you talking about?
Right, right. Everyone
Right?
was cracking up for you.
Right.
Yeah.
There was none of this. Like nowadays, I couldn't believe it when they said, if you're sick, just text us. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God, no more of those terrible phone calls where they know that you're lying and you feel so guilty because you're lying
Right?
on a
I
Monday.
on a well, when you're hungover because you cleaned out your attic on the
Well, I
weekend.
did go to work though, because again, I'm from a different generation. I don't take days off
Mm.
because of hangovers.
See, I I used to feel bad for calling in sick when I first started working. So when I was 16 and stuff, didn't want to call in sick. I wanted to leave a good impression. This past job, I didn't want to call in sick either because they only pay you 60% for sick days, and I'm like,
Oh, how do they get away with that?
right? And that's
Yeah.
what I was like, what? And then after a year, it would go up to
Oh,
70 and
I
then
see.
80.
Okay.
But
So
then
they
I
got a
was just
step
like,
program.
I
I've
didn't
never
like
heard of
that.
that. Yeah.
Oh, no. I was like,
Well,
if
here's what
I'm
I've heard of. Either
okay.
you get paid for them or you don't. Like I used to work at a place for years and years and years that there was no such thing.
Oh,
You
well,
just didn't. You weren't allowed to get sick, and if you got sick,
well, Grandma, I'm just gonna say that time is when you had to go out and gather food. So if you didn't gather food,
that's when we used to take the horse and buggy to town.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, I
Um,
wonder now, like, as far as work-life balance, I really don't even understand the concept. So can you explain it? Because I don't
yeah.
really understand it that well.
So when I think of work-life balance, I feel like we work all our lives, but the whole point of life is to live your life, not at work.
Oh,
So there
oh, when
comes
did all
a
this happen?
work-life balance because you need to work in order to get money to survive, but you also want
Oh,
to enjoy your life.
oh,
So and you have to manage it too, like doctor's appointments. If you have
hmm,
children, what if your children can't go to school that day?
right. And I
Work-life
noticed in the
balance.
new job that I have, I actually have they what's called appointment time, which I've never heard of either. Where if I like over the year, I have X amount of hours for appointments specifically. So not sick time. It doesn't come out of my sick time. It doesn't come out of anything. But it's specifically if I have a dentist appointment, I can use that. Or I have the option. Like the other day I had a dentist appointment, but it was only 45 minutes and they're about 10 minutes away. So I knew I'd be like an hour. And I
Mhm.
said, you know what, I'll just jump up and make up the time so that I can keep that in case we have to. But the nice thing about it is even if my husband has an appointment, you know, in Halifax for his heart or something like that, and it's going to
And you
take
gotta
all
go.
day, and I have
Yeah.
to take him, then you have that option to take that time, and I think that's wonderful. I mean, that's
I would love
wow.
that because some places are only open during work hours,
Right,
9 to 5 for
right,
appointments. So,
right.
like, I have found a dentist who works until 7 PM,
Oh wow.
so
Okay.
I could go after work and go
Hmm.
get my teeth
But it's
cleaned.
probably hard
Now
to get in too,
it is
right?
hard to get in
Yeah.
because everyone's thinking that.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, and then fuck, you got the doctor's office, who's like, "Oh, can you come in at 11 a.m.?" And it's like, "Well, no, I can't because you're 40 minutes away, and
Right. Yeah.
yeah, you can only oh, this is one I hate. They're only supposed to talk about one thing per visit because
Ugh.
they only get paid for 15 minutes, and I was just like
I
"I'm
just
not
go in
taking
with a
more time
list.
off work."
Yeah, I just go in with a list and I check it off. I'm like, "Okay, so I'm here now," but see, I don't make a lot of doctor's appointments. So I'm not one of these that sit at the doctor for every little scratch. So, and I tell them that. I say, "Listen, I don't like it. If I cut myself, I'll sew it up myself before I would bother with an ER. I would." So tell them that. I say, "Listen, I don't take a lot of time to go to the doctor, but when I do go, it's actually serious, and I need someone to do something." So,
Yeah.
and my guy I have now, he's a nurse practitioner, and I like him better than a doctor. He really
I'm
seems to
seeing a
listen
nurse
to me.
practitioner.
Yeah.
That's my next appointment
It
because I
seems
said,
like they're a
"Honey."
little more like down to earth
Well, I
a
just
little
wanna
bit.
say, I don't got time to be waiting on my doctor. My doctor makes
Mhm.
me wait for appointments. No, 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 no. Get me in, get me out. So I booked a phone call appointment so I could take it at work during my
Right.
lunch,
Yeah.
and then I don't have to go waste all this extra time. So yeah,
Yeah, and
I'm
I'm
excited.
loving that this type of video calling and being able to phone call for smaller things and not have to take
Yeah,
3 hours for a 10-minute, "Hey, I need,
yeah,
this," or, often you know what you need, you just need a prescription for it, right? So
exactly.
this way, you can just call in and say, "Hey, can I get," and then if they need to see you, they'll say, "Hey, no, we need to see you first." But, yeah, I really like that. So that's a bit of
Yeah,
balance that I like in
yes.
this lifetime.
Well, I really like that appointment time stuff because that's smart. That's smart to
Mhm.
have, like, a
Yeah,
pacing
and
appointment.
it's not I don't think it's a lot. I think it might equal out to, like, 2 days or something over the
Mhm.
year, but at least you're not taking your sick time for that.
Yeah,
Like, that's actually for appointments. So, and when you divide that up, if it's an hour here or 2 hours there, it's pretty good. Like, at least you don't
yeah,
lose a lot of pay. So, I like it. But
exactly.
work-life balance, how do you feel about retirement age? What do you guys
Retirement
feel?
age? Well, for myself, because I'm gonna be rich and successful, I
Right.
know my retirement age is gonna be about 50, 55. But I
Mm,
think for
mhm.
most common people out there, 65 is the age, for retirement. It's
I'm
you're supposed to
exhausted.
have a pension.
I'm so exhausted. I just don't know how I'm gonna make it to 65. I can see why people work to 65 and then die the next day. I get it because, like, you're just tired. Like, it should not
Yeah,
be 65. And at one point, the conservative government raised it up before Justin Trudeau. So who was in Stephen Harper? He raised it
I
up
think
to
so.
67. Because they don't wanna pay the money, right? So, that's an extra
Yeah.
like, 2 more years that you had to slave away to get your pension, and then Justin Trudeau did come in, and if we all recall, when Justin Trudeau first came in, everybody was terribly excited because, number 1, he changed he got in, marijuana, made that legal,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Everybody loved that, and then he also lowered the, retirement age back to 65. I don't think a day over 65. In fact, I think it should be 60. I really do.
Honestly, I think so too because people are dying left, right, and center. So a lot of people aren't gonna
They don't
see
make it.
retirement.
Yeah,
They don't make it to
right,
65.
right,
So that's why
and
I'm
I
saying like
find
50.
now as far as cognitively, I feel like they should make it 60 because at this point, I'm starting to get like, I can't do anything more on social media than Facebook. Do you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, I'm not computer, like, savvy or social media savvy. So, it's time for us, like, that's kinda like a dinosaur, get out of the way and let the young people in to to bring their
Oh,
expertise with this sort of stuff that we're really like I literally I'm
mm,
sure they're asking me at my volunteer place to set up an email. I cannot figure it out. I don't even know what they're talking about and I'm like trying really hard but it's not happening. So I mean it's just things like that that I just can't understand and I really
yeah,
frankly at the end of the day I don't want to. Like I'm tired.
exactly.
Yeah.
Go
So, what
live
do you
your
think of
life.
that? Do you guys think
Um,
you think 55 or 60? I think, like, 55 would be
oh,
fabulous.
well, 55 would be fabulous, but yeah, I think it should be younger. Honestly, you're right. I think it should be maybe
The hard
60.
the hard part is I think it's set up, you know, in a way for people that are sort of on a, hourly wage, like a minimum wage, to get
Hmm.
to that point of having enough money to retire. You literally have to slog until you're 65 if you're in that type of work. But it seems to me like things are changing as far as wages are
Yeah,
going. And so, I mean, you got to look and take care of, and maybe that's part of what could happen is some sort of base payment. For each household, or maybe households that make under a certain amount of money at 60, they would get a base payment along with their pension. Something like
right.
that keeps it so that they're not out on the street living in a box because
Honestly, senior citizens, there should just be a senior citizens discount like everywhere, like 80%
they
off.
shouldn't have to
Like,
it should be like teenagers. They shouldn't have to pay tax, any tax. Like, it should be just it should yeah, like, the thing is, like, what are they, 10% of our population? I mean, after our baby boomers
oh, I'm
go,
not sure.
uh,
Yeah, well, we gotta get
after
those
that,
people out the
yeah.
door, yeah.
We gotta get them out of here. But
Because
once
they're
they're
making up
gone, I don't
40%.
yeah, I don't know what
Like,
the population is, but I don't think it's as big as the middle population. And even if it is, haven't they paid their dues? I feel like I
right?
have.
I
Yeah,
know. I already got a casket ready for you because I know you could
I
go any
know.
day.
I
You
know.
you
I'm
paved the
friggin'
way.
tired. I'm
You're
tired.
tired and you're gonna
I
collapse
am.
soon. So
Yes.
I'm ready.
Especially
I'm
when I'm
ready.
hungover. I mean, honestly.
Wow. You drink to survive because you're so tired all the
And you know what I was
time.
thinking, but I don't think I could handle it. I was thinking about starting drinking wine, but I think I'd become an actual wino, and then it'd just be every day hangover.
Oh my god.
I couldn't
You'd have
take
a
it.
glass every day. Do you think that would help with your diabetes? Because,
No.
Stanley from The Office, he has like I
Yeah,
think
that's
he
for
says he
heart
has fucking
disease. It's for
oh,
heart disease. Yeah, diabetes that's not good for because of the sugar content in wine. It's a lot.
right.
So that's why I don't drink it, but I was thinking about it.
But beer is okay.
No. None of
What?
it's okay. None of it.
Oh, so question for you. Do you have a
Mhm.
drink after work sometimes?
Never.
Do you just no, never? Me either.
No, and
Actually,
I should. There's been times now, but I think what you would call a binge drinker, and again, I think that's just my upbringing. We all did that, and I just kept with it. So, but I have recently went to a restaurant, and what I'm really getting into is the on tap beers, like the local.
oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I have went and just had like a beer or 2 beer with supper, and you get a nice little buzz because it seems to be a bit stronger, that beer, but you're not, like, plastered and, you know, dancing around the house and naked or anything. Oh,
Right.
what? What?
What? What?
No.
You slipped that in?
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so work-life balance, I think I love working from home, and
Okay.
that for me has made a real difference in my life. And I had said it for a long, long time. I couldn't understand why at the hospital I worked at before over in Ontario, why we weren't working from home. I could never figure that out because we're not necessary in the sense of seeing
Yep.
people, and really our jobs require us to be like isolated. So I always thought that, and now that I'm working out here in Nova Scotia, all of the people that do the same job I do work from home. There's no office to go to anymore
Well,
for
that's
us.
actually nice.
Yeah, and
Well,
I enjoy it a lot. I don't need the socializing. I don't need the I really don't. I don't like, when people get into, fights and in the office and the politics and gossip. I'm not a big fan of that. It makes me, get a little bit of anxiety,
well,
you
you
know?
don't really have to interact with people, right? For your job, it's just
No.
doing what you're told, and then it's like
There
you're done
is
pretty much.
a small portion of the job that but no, for the most part, there is a part of it that we could be doing, but they're actually breaking that part into its own job now
Oh,
where
okay.
and even that can be done over the phone, and at home. You can still do it from
Yeah.
home, but you do talk to people, but you don't have to, be dealing with people one on one. Yeah, so I've never seen the reason to be there, and now I just find it. I love that I can a. I jump up at 10 to okay. I start work at 7. I jump up at 10 to 7. I walk in here and I turn.
Lovely.
I have like if I don't know if I could turn it around, but I have my coffee station over here, right there. So I click on the coffee when I walk in, sit down, sign in, and I'm going for the day.
Wow. Well, I pretty much do the same thing because I also work from home. I work from home 4 days a week, and I go into the office 1 day a week. Now, I personally don't like it as much because I like the social aspect. I like walking to the building and getting my steps in, but
Yeah,
that's
and
also
maybe,
because,
what younger people would like that too. Like, maybe
well,
your age group, it would be more inclined to be socializing a little bit more.
I think it just depends on the person because I know a
Mhm.
lot of people do like working from home, but I'm just a social butterfly
Mm.
and I like get to get my steps in too. And it's
Oh,
hard to
okay.
do
Yeah.
when you work from home. So you have no motivation to actually go out and walk outside unless you have to
Right.
do something, right? So I'm
Mhm.
like, well, I have to go to the office, so I have to walk there, which is 15 minutes. So it's like that's what
Oh,
I'm
that's
missing
good.
every day. Yeah,
Mhm. Well, you just gotta make yourself go for a walk. As
I
I
know,
said
but I don't have to. So,
with my exercise routine, I've just convinced myself like I'm like J Lo getting paid to exercise. I do it on my breaks, and I every morning like, this is crazy, but every morning I wake up now and it's literally like I snap on the ball and chain, because every morning I'll get up and I put on, like, exercise pants, socks, shoes, and then 2 weights around my ankles. So that every time I get up and I'm walking, I'm actually exercising until noon. So it always feels like I'm strapping on like leg
oh my
irons or
god.
something every morning. It's like, oh, getting ready, oh, ball and chain, here we go. So, but I am doing it and I'm getting the exercise. And I think that's part of work-life balance that you can't get if you're in the office. I would never be
Mhm.
comfortable to be exercising in an office
Yeah,
environment, right? Like, you're not just gonna lay down next to your desk in your cubicle and start doing sit-ups. But
exactly. Who would
maybe
do that?
people do they? I don't know.
I don't know either, but, like, today I did laundry, that was really nice because it's always,
Yes.
like, busy on the weekend, so I'm like, "Oh, well, I can just do it at 12 o'clock today when I take my lunch," and then I go
Yeah.
down, put a load
Yeah, I
in.
set mine
Yeah.
in, like, on 1 day a week, and I'll set it where I put it in before I start work. Now I'll have to get up, like, 10 minutes earlier, but, like, put it in and then go down on break and then go back down at lunch, and by the end of the day, my laundry's all done. Whereas before, you're working 8 to 4 or 8 to 5, whatever it is,
Oh, yeah.
driving the 2 like, for us, when we were in Northern Ontario, that was quite a drive.
Yeah.
So you're about an hour and a half to 2 hours every day on the road getting to and from work, and by the time you get home, ugh, who's wanting to do
Oh,
laundry or clean?
and when you work from home, you save money because that's less money on
Yes.
gas.
Yes.
Gas
That's
and the
the other
mileage on
thing.
your car. Yep.
Yes, my car has sat out there. Well, even the neighbor commented and said, "Do you ever leave? Do you ever go anywhere? Like, your car is never gone. It never moves." And I'm like, "Well, I don't gotta go to work, so" yeah, and what's he up
Um,
to?
yeah, I
Checking
was like, "That's
watching my
creepy
car.
that the neighbor is,
Well, they then another one's
2
like, "Do you ever"
binoculars."
yeah, the other one's like, "Do you ever go outside?" And I'm like, "Ew, that's such a weird question. Are you watching?" So, did you get to see the eclipse?
No, so, funny thing is, it was so cloudy here,
Oh, really?
um,
Oh.
that I thought a thunderstorm was happening, but then I remembered the eclipse is over, so it got so dark.
Oh, it got really dark, yeah.
But about 10 minutes ago, clouds disappeared, sun's out, and I was
Oh,
like,
no.
"Really? Cool."
We
So,
ours
yeah.
is clear skies here, and we saw it. We went out with
Yeah?
2 sets of, sunglasses, and your grandpa colored in a piece of glass, and,
Oh.
yeah, so we actually did see it. It wasn't complete here. It was here
Oh,
in
okay.
Nova Scotia, but a apparently over in Fredericton and area, it was complete. But, but it did get quite dark here, and we went out when it got dark, and we live out in the country, and there wasn't a sound. The birds, like, I wondered, did they think it was nighttime? You know how
Yeah.
birds will go
Yeah.
to bed type thing. Because all of a sudden, everything just stopped. It was just silent. It's really cool.
Maybe dinosaurs had a similar experience with, like,
Possibly.
the
But
asteroids came.
again, work-life balance, that allowed me to be able to go out and do that today. It was like, I was right after work, but I would have been driving to get
Yeah,
home. So,
that's true.
so I was already here and just walked outside. How nice is that? Yeah.
It's also nice too, you don't have to plan your meals ahead of time because I just go in my kitchen and make my lunch too when it's lunchtime.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't have to do it the night before or plan ahead. I can just walk to my
Yeah.
kitchen.
Yeah, and that can sometimes cost more because you get tired of doing that and you wind up going out for lunch because you're like, "Oh,
Mm,
I'll just go out today and get it." And whereas when you're at home, normally you're not close to usually restaurants
mhm.
unless you have,
Yeah.
live close by, but normally you just run into your kitchen and make yourself something to eat. So yeah, you save money that way too. Yeah. I think there's a lot to be said about working from home and your work-life balance.
And your life balance.
Your 'Cause I don't really
Uh,
still get it. I work 3 jobs, so I don't know. I don't know if that's balance or what that is.
Grandma's trying to retire.
Yeah, I don't even know how I'm gonna do that. I don't think that's gonna happen. Probably not.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, some people just go to work.
So do you have anyone, like, in your workplace or in, your experience that you think, "You should just retire already?"
Maybe. No comment.
Oh, no, I mean over your lifetime, like, what have you
Oh, yeah, yeah,
experienced
yeah,
that?
yeah.
Like, you've experienced somebody and I have too, where I
Yeah,
thought, "What are you doing here? Why" like, you and
yeah.
especially in a hospital environment, the pensions are fabulous. So, I mean
Right?
yeah, so really, why are you working till you're 70? You
I'm
must have a
planning on
very
oh,
sad life,
I'm
right?
planning on staying in healthcare forever, I
Yeah,
think, just because of the pension, and it's,
pension's
like,
great.
retirement at 50, 55, and I'm like,
Mhm, mhm.
so I
Yeah.
think that's yeah.
I can actually take, mine how am I 54? I think so. So I actually can start my retirement next year. I don't know if I'm going to do that. Like, I don't think I probably won't. I probably will wait till I'm 60 and
Yeah,
do it.
push it
'Cause
as long as you can.
yeah. Yeah, and I think I've got that long in me. So but at 60, I think that'll be it. Because I think
Yeah,
for me, especially, and for anyone when you're diagnosed with a disease like I have, or like your grandpa has heart disease, um, those things don't go away, and so you got to look at it and go, "What? Like, really? I'm not gonna." More than likely, like possibly I'll live for quite a while if I keep it in check and everything goes fine. But for the most part, you have to look at it and be realistic and think, it eventually something's going to happen. And
yeah.
am I going to work to the minute that that does happen, or am I going to stop and enjoy a little bit of life and before that happens.
Well, see, with my diagnosis, I don't know because I've been
What's your
diagnosed with,
diagnosis?
well, a delicious snack. So I don't so
Delicious snack. Is that what they call you?
yeah, or asthma.
Or
That's
asthma?
the other one. Or
Yeah,
asthma.
yeah. Well,
Can you imagine?
I don't think asthma is gonna kill you anytime soon.
Well, unless I'm
Maybe
running for my
that
job.
that peanut allergy might, but it
Oh
hasn't
my
got you
gosh.
yet. So, oh my goodness.
Whew, that was a good one.
Yeah, it was.
Out of left
Very
field
good.
there. Oh my gosh. Okay, other things about work-life balance is, um, sorry, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, you mentioned your coffee, how you can just make it. I've saved so much money on coffee
Mhm.
because I loved going to Tim Hortons every day, getting my iced coffee. Now I'm a hot coffee drinker because I got myself a Keurig. Just a
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's seconds,
Yes.
seconds. Oh,
Hot
30
coffee.
seconds.
Right.
Hot
And I
coffee.
think that you probably do lose weight in the sense that, like, when I used to drive to work, I'd do the same thing, stop at Tim Hortons, but
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
always then get a sandwich too, right?
Yeah.
And their sandwiches are high in calories, all fast food is.
Mm.
So you know that you're eating, like, right there, you're eating like 600 calories plus the
Yeah.
coffee, which is another,
Oh,
cream and sugar, and you had to have cream and sugar in their coffee. So, I mean, you're at a 800 calorie breakfast already. Then we
yeah.
worked in a hospital. So guess what? And where I worked, it was all homemade food. Like it was made in the hospital. So your cafeteria, why would you ever bring a lunch, right? You just go down and have lunch there, but quite often it was fattening too. So I gained a lot of weight when I worked at the hospital.
Oh, at my old work, because
Mhm.
they also had, like, homemade, like, it's called
Mhm.
chef's plate, and it's actual people who make it, and they,
Mhm.
oh my gosh, real chicken, real mac and cheese, like, all
Mhm.
these delicious
Mhm.
things, and then what I hated, though, is they would weigh it. I'm like, "Why can't we do, like, an all-you-can-eat buffet price?" So, like
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank God they didn't, right?
yeah, yeah, I
You'd
still
be
every
working
time I'd be
you'd be
like
working on a couple extra 50 pounds.
right?
Yeah.
So when it came to corn or like peas or something, I'm like, okay, I'll take extra scoops of this because it weighs less compared to, the lasagna that I'm
Mhm.
packing in
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
Like,
that
yeah,
weighs 5 pounds. Yeah.
yeah,
Well, and maybe I do miss that in a sense, but I think it was health-wise, I think it's best that I'm not eating that kind of stuff as much as I did before because I that was pretty unhealthy stuff.
yeah.
Like, the Tim Hortons and whatever. But
It is
that's part of,
delicious.
working from home. Work-life balance, I think I would love to have a lot more holidays, and I don't know why I didn't negotiate that. I'm pretty sure I could have. I just never thought of it. But, I do think that's important. And what I find now is being that your grandpa is retired and I'm still working, that makes it difficult for him and for me in the sense that he wants to go places, and for him,
Yeah.
a Wednesday is the same as a Saturday, doesn't matter. And so it would be nice to just pick up and go, but you have your work. So that's kind of hard. Yeah.
Sorry, I've received 5 spam calls, and out of this whole time we've been podcasting, my phone, my number has got leaked to, like, the spam center from, good old Northern Ontario numbers, like, just calling me, like,
Oh, okay.
545. I'm like, "What the actual F?"
Really?
yeah, I don't know what it is.
Mm,
How many have I had today? Like, 8 in total. I had 3 before this podcast, 5 now.
wow. Okay.
Okay, back to work-life balance. So
Get that off your chest.
yeah, so it just my phone kept vibrating. I'm like, "Jesus
Can't
Christ,
you get
man."
it where I have it where it takes that off. Like, I don't receive those calls. It will tell me that I have, like, I don't
Really?
know how I have that, yeah. It
Oh,
says,
well,
"We think this is spam."
well, I had to answer during the day because working from home means my cell phone is a part of my work life, so I have
Right.
to answer all my calls coming
Oh,
in,
okay, yeah, yeah,
um, which
right.
fucking sucks. That's the one
Yeah.
thing I don't really like, but, also for work-life balance too, um, what was I gonna say? I got a little cash or yeah, a little cash to like, get a desk and stuff because I just was like,
Oh, right.
I'm working from home now. I don't have a space. And they're like, "Oh, here's a
Yeah,
little money to make
right,
that happen."
right.
Like, so that
Yeah.
was nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can claim it on your income tax, your
Yes,
office space in your home, which is nice as well. Um, that comes in handy. I don't know how much of it, but, for me, because I also run my own business, I get to claim it twice.
that's
So,
true.
whoop, whoop. Hopefully that helps with the old taxes, because it's not gonna be good again this year.
Oh, I want to ask you, so what do you do while you're not working? Like, if you can
When am I
imagine when
not?
you're retired, like, what are you gonna do every day, you know?
You have to know, like, it's surprising, when I was your age, people would say, "Oh my god, the day goes so quickly, I don't even know," and I'm like, really? Like, I don't know, I'm sitting at work and it just takes forever."
Yeah.
The day goes really quickly, like, I'm finding it now for your grandpa, I think it's like everything speeds up. So, suddenly, like, a day goes by and you're like, "Where'd that go?" And you've barely done anything. And for me, what I'm finding is the weekends.
Oh,
It's
the
like,
weekend goes by.
yeah, it's like, What happened? It's Sunday already, Sunday night, and I'm going to work on Monday. Where'd the rest of it go?" But it's not really that long, is it? I think we should have a 3-day weekend. I think
I
we
think
should
so too.
make up the hours, like and especially, that's what I was going to say. If you work from home and in a position that I have, where I don't have to um, be here within certain hours, be available to anyone outside of what I'm doing, like, to me, I would like to see it where they go, "Okay, listen, we want this done as a quota in the week. We don't
Yeah.
care how you do it."
I'd be okay with that. Honestly, I would be okay with that. I would find a
And
way
I
to make
don't
it
know why
happen.
they don't. Like, okay,
W
so maybe I'll do it over 7 days, or maybe I'll do it in 3.
I think Sweden or Switzerland has that. It's one of the S's,
Mhm,
but they do
mhm.
something like that over there. Works amazing. We should do it
Yeah,
over here.
because, what I think about that is, so then if your grandpa wants to get up and go somewhere on a Friday and take the Friday, my work's all done. I plan for that. I
Yeah.
get it all out of the way Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then I have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we start again on Monday. I don't see what the issue is with that. I just don't. I don't
In
know
the
why
past
we have
yeah.
such tight, you know what I mean? Like, everything's held so tightly.
In the past, like other jobs, I could get so much done in a few days and then like have nothing to do because they're like, "Oh, we gotta kind of stop and wait." So I'm like, "Well, then why am I here? Why am
Yeah.
I here today?"
Yeah,
Kind of. So it's
exactly.
like,
Exactly.
yeah.
And we have like quotas, and like, it's not set in stone, but it just gives you a general idea of what you need to get done. So for me, because I've been doing it for so many years, and don't tell anyone, but maybe I shouldn't
Oh,
say
so
this.
yeah, this is a great place.
Yeah, yeah, out to the world. No, but I
Yeah.
can get a lot done. If I sit down and put my mind to it, I can do like about triple of what someone else that's only been doing it for 5 years has been doing. So I literally could get my quota in 2 days probably.
Okay, Speedy Gonzalez.
Right,
That's
right.
so
But what, like, to me, okay, but I've been doing it for that many years, so shouldn't I get a little bit of a, and
exactly.
if I can get that done, why can't I have 5 days off?
I think you mean 3 days off.
Well, and Saturday, Sunday. No, but if
Yeah.
I could get my work done in 2 days,
Oh. Oh, I see
why
what you
can't I
mean.
have,
Oh,
like, the
okay.
next 5 off and start again Monday?
Well, I think you're being a little extreme
Really?
there.
Am I?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why? I don't get it.
5 days off and work for 2 days?
No.
I feel like that's a lot of work. What are you
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah,
9
I
to
think
9?
they yeah, yeah, oh, yeah, it would be like 12
Yeah.
hours. 2
Yeah.
days of 12 hours, but still, that's not even that
I
bad. That's
guess,
only
yeah.
24 hours.
That's true.
Mhm.
I
But I
I'd
think
be
there's
okay with
labor
that.
laws and stuff like that you gotta get around.
Well, do labor laws apply to the elderly? We
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
Yeah,
Do
we don't
they?
know. Well, the sweatshop I seen had kids and elderly people in it, so I don't
Old
think so.
people, old retired people that needed to
Yeah.
make up some money because they don't get enough.
Oh my god. Yeah, they're doing quilts, quilts and
I
knitting and
do
stuff.
know a lot of, people that retire and then go back to work, and especially in the job that I'm doing, there's a lot of people that retire, and apparently if you retire and then get that all cleaned up and settled, you can go back to work and it doesn't affect your, income from your retirement. You do
Oh,
have to pay tax, but it doesn't affect anything. You can work as
yeah.
much or as little as you want, and there's a lot of people that come back part-time to what I do.
So I know that because my one grandma, she was thinking about getting another job, but then she just wants the social aspect too. So she
Mhm.
actually volunteers at a farm in the summertime where it's just
Right.
like whatever day she can go in, and
Mhm.
then she picks like produce and stuff.
Right.
Um, but I know a lot of other people who get a job as a greeter or someone at like Costco or Walmart or
Walmart,
like
yep.
the food
Yeah,
samples
and it's
people.
really more for, I think for interaction with people. I think there are
Yeah.
and that person that I was saying earlier, do you know a person or have you experienced that where they're at work and they're 70 and you're like, "Why don't you" but some people just don't have anything else. And so when
Hmm.
they retire, they just find that they're going out of their minds crazy
Yeah.
because they have nothing else. So they tend to return to work and have at least that little bit of social interaction. Like I had one aunt who, like your grandmother, quit, like retired from her job. And then she started working part time in a flower shop because she had always
Yeah.
wanted to work part time, like in a flower shop. And she just found that the most wonderful experience of her whole life, her whole work life. So,
The one thing you wanted to do your whole life and you finally get to do it.
right,
That's a
right.
nice moment.
So, I mean, that's a part of retirement, but work life balance. I don't know. Is that retirement? Or we maybe we're getting sidetracked again.
Well, you
We should
work for almost all your life. It's time to get that life
balance it.
balance up.
Yeah,
Yeah, your work
yes.
is down here, life's up here. You gotta like
Eventually, it's got to happen
it has
somehow.
to balance out. So,
Oh my god, I
well, for
can't
some
wait.
people it doesn't. So, but like, what do you save your holidays for and stuff? Like, people save up time, vacation time. What do you do with it?
Um, well, we do a lot of traveling. Both your grandpa and I are very inquisitive people, I think. We have a lot in common when it comes to that. So we like to go places and see like go somewhere even close by, but get down those roads, those back roads, and where does
Oh,
this
the
take
back
us and
road.
where do we go and like we've seen a lot of stuff that people wouldn't see because we just like seeing like this year we were talking about l- um like I'm going to Mexico, of course. That's my first
Yeah.
destination wedding. That's going to be really interesting in a couple of
Ooh.
weeks. Yeah, so a week there. And then we're talking about going over to Ontario in August, driving over. And we really like taking the northern Quebec route. So it's
Oh.
like, yeah, yeah, it's it's pretty open space and but it's beautiful. It really is. It's gorgeous and it's all Indian Reserve all up through there. Um, and lots of campgrounds and like just those side of the road motel type things that most people don't like staying in, but we love it. We usually get
Is it 2 days? 2-day trip?
yeah, like we'll leave well here especially well we might leave here and go to New Brunswick to Heidi's to my daughter's
Okay.
and stay there and then it'll be another 2 days drive.
I
So
gotcha. Okay.
yeah, yeah. So we try and get halfway across Quebec up to the top in the middle and then we stay at a there's a
Yeah.
place there and then we head down into northern Ontario. I think we're going to try and go there. So that would be a week, and then, we were talking about driving up to, New Brunswick, northern New Brunswick, where we lived where you were when we first moved out
Oh,
here. Yeah,
yes. Yes, I remember.
yes.
Yeah.
And just taking a cruise around there and just seeing some old places that we really liked up there, and then yeah, so that's what the kind of stuff we like to do. That's what I like for holidays. What do you like?
Um, Usually I just see family on holidays, go to my cottage in the summer with my other
Yeah,
grandmother. I like to see family. Now that I'm finally getting more money, like I know this year I'm gonna go on a vacation. So
yeah.
when what is that called? Cyber Monday comes back around. I've seen so many great deals on trips to
What
Cuba
is
for like
Cyber Monday with? Is that with Christmas? What is that with? Christmas or
no, I
what
don't think so.
holiday
Thanksgiving.
is that? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Thanksgiving, I think.
Yeah.
Um So yeah, it's like was that
Yeah, we
Boxer
need to talk about
no,
that.
Black Friday and like Cyber Monday. So I love making like vacation dates. Well, that's what I'm gonna start doing, I think, every year. Because only $750 round trip, all inclusive resort in Cuba. It was like a 4-star
I wanna go to
resort.
Cuba. We gotta
So
go. I wanna go with you.
yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
I'm
That
going.
sounds good.
So, there you go.
Um, because then it's just like I think that's good. I'm gonna spend a week there, just have great time off. But okay, here's the other thing with work-life balance.
Mhm,
When we just had the Easter long weekend, I kept panicking. I would wake up every day and say, I'm late for work. I'm missing this or something. I
mhm.
would have just this terrifying fear I was missing something at work. And I don't think that's healthy.
No, and I'll tell you, which I didn't realize until I got one of these, new fandangled watches, one of these,
Oh,
Fitbit.
a Fitbit.
So it looks at, like, your sleep, um,
Yeah.
your pattern, sleep pattern, and I didn't realize until I got this watch, and I've been watching the pattern, that during the week, I'm exactly like that, where I don't sleep very well, and I do believe it's because I it has been ingrained into me so hard not to be late. You can't be
Right?
late.
Oh,
That I don't sleep well. Like, you'll see it, during the week, it'll start out, like, Sunday night, it'll
yeah.
be, like, 6 hours, then it goes to, like, 5.5, and then it's 5,
Yeah.
and then I will get a better sleep because I'm so exhausted, but then
Yeah.
another night, and then on the weekend, it's like, "Huh," and I'll sleep 8 hours.
I
So,
think
it's
I
kind
have
of
to start
odd.
taking sleeping pills, I think,
Oh, be
because
careful with those, though.
I know, but I don't care if I get addicted because I just need a good night's sleep. And I find myself I'm worrying about too much that
Mhm.
it's just like is in my head where I'm like, why am I thinking about this? I try to get it out. I try to have a blank mind before I go to bed.
And then I have a
And
bit of, like, FOMO at weeknights. I don't get that either. Like, I where I'm
yeah,
fear of missing out, um, like, I don't wanna go to bed, which is really odd
right?
for me. Like, I wanna stay up, I don't want the day sort of to end, I guess, and so then I'm not getting a good sleep either, and when I do finally go to bed, like you,
Yeah.
things are going around and around and around, so
Well,
it's difficult.
I know I'm a good worker and I can
Mhm,
tell
mhm,
because some days when I do lots of work, I come home, I hit the bed. Like
mhm,
I'm in that bed. I have
mhm,
a 2.5 hour nap. I usually wake up around 8:30, 7:30, 8:30, and then I'm like bing bing bing, like I'm wide awake. Sometimes I'll go to the gym at 10 p.m. because I have all this energy. But and then
mhm,
I don't have a good night's sleep. But it's because I worked myself so hard. I just got so much stuff done. And I'm
mhm.
just looking at a computer screen. That's the other thing that I don't like about working from home all the time is you're just staring at a computer screen the
Well,
whole
and
day.
that's why I like what I got this stand-up, sit-down desk,
Oh yeah.
and, I like, even with the weights around my ankles, where but when I go to the washroom, I do exercises going there and coming back and try and just get moving so that I'm not,
Yeah.
like, sitting, and I find that really has helped. It has.
I hope when you're 57 or something and you try to go up to like use the washroom or something and you think you still have your weights on
Oh
and
god.
you just take like giant steps.
Yeah,
Like,
huge. Like like I'm connected to balloons.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. I do
yeah.
that when I get off the treadmill sometimes or the bike if cuz I'll run for like an hour or pedal for an hour and when I get off my legs, they're used
Oh,
to that
yeah,
motion.
yeah,
So there's just
yeah,
one to go.
yeah.
Oh my god, it's a crazy feeling. Anyways, I think that's enough on work-life balance.
Well, I think we figured it out.
I think we cracked the code. Retire at 50 and hit the road.
And hit the road and get vacationing. Who cares where the money comes from?
Exactly. The government should
Okay,
lower the age down to 50,
right.
period.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay, great. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in, and I hope that was very educational for all of you because it was for us. Have a great day.
Bye.